The Pomodoro method quickly became my favorite way to study. It helps me to break through long periods of procrastination and to get to work, especially when I don't feel like it. The Pomodoro method helps to tackle two main issues. The first one being the initial activation energy it takes to start something or to start a task. Oftentimes I've found that once I start a task, I can easily continue going and I actually enjoy it. The difficulty is getting over the initial activation energy it takes to start the task and not to go do something easier like research for my YouTube channel.
Perhaps for sheer joy.
The second issue is when focusing for a really long period of time, we eventually hit a wall where we can't focus any longer. We start to get brain fatigue and we start getting distracted. This is where daydreaming kicks in and procrastination, where we start doing anything we can but the task at hand. This is when our productivity goes right down. The Pomodoro method helps to refresh and maintain focus for long periods of time. In this video, we'll look at the Pomodoro method in detail and how it's ramped up my study hours in medical school. If you're new here, I'm Hassan and I'm a third-year medical student at UCL. On this channel, I make videos about life as a medical student in London and the occasional study tips video just like this one. If this is something you're interested in, then consider subscribing. First, we're going to talk about what the technique is and how you can put it into action, and then some variations of that may be better tailored and better suited to you. The technique was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the 1980s, where he famously used a kitchen tomato timer to break his work into 25-minute intervals called pomos. The word Pomodoro is actually the Italian word for tomato. Each pomo is 25 minutes of intense focus followed by a 5-minute break. After 25 minutes, the brain starts to lose focus and needs to recharge. This is when you take a 5-minute break away from your desk, which is important and is perfect for either a bathroom break or to make some tea or coffee, or even to just get a refill in your drink. Now I'm going to go through the step-by-step process that I take when I'm doing the Pomodoro method. Step 1. Before I start, I'll write my to-do list and then rank all my tasks from highest to lowest priority. Then I'll pick one single task to focus on. Step 2. I then start a timer for 25 minutes and focus entirely to the task at hand. To limit distractions, my phone is usually on silent and I either place it in my drawer or I'll place it in another room. I'd say my phone is my biggest source of distraction, so I try to put this out of sight so it's out of mind. The timer that I use on my laptop is called pomofocus.io. I'll put it somewhere on screen. I find this app really intuitive, really easy to use, and it has no ads, so it's nice and simple and it gets the job done. If I'm using my phone, which I tend to avoid, I usually use the Forest app. I turn deep focus on, so if I open another app, my tree will die, and then this then motivates me to not go on my phone and start going on other social media or anything else that would distract me. Step 3. After 25 minutes of focus, I take a 5-minute break to recharge my brain. This, I usually go downstairs to get a cup of tea, or I usually use the bathroom depending on what stage through my cycle I'm at. Step 4, I repeat this for 4 Pomodoro cycles before taking a 30-minute break. Then I'm either done for the day or I'll continue on if I've just started. There are many variations of this method. So some people do the 50-10 split, which is 50 minutes of pure intense studying followed by 10 minutes of a relaxed break. Another method is called Animedoro. This is a 52-17 split, where 52 minutes of intense focus followed by 17 minutes, which is usually used to watch an episode of anime, hence Animedoro. It combines the Pomodoro technique with anime, as 17 minutes is usually just the right amount of time to watch an episode of anime if you skip the intro and the end credits. Personally, Netflix is my vice, so I don't think I'd have the willpower to fight the next episode button and to get back to studying. I'd recommend just starting with 25-minute study, 5-minute break, and then from there finding what your natural energy, your natural rhythm is. It may be longer, it may be shorter. Either way, the important thing is you find your own natural rhythm. It'd be useless to try and force yourself to stick to Francesco Cirillo's time of 25-minute, 5-minute break if this isn't what works for you. The point of doing Pomodoro is a period of intense focus followed by a period of break, and whatever that intense focus is for you, I definitely recommend sticking to that. And slowly over time, you can increase your time from perhaps 20 minutes to 21 to 3, and slowly train yourself to be able to study for longer and longer periods of time, eventually studying for 50 minutes with a 10-minute break. If I'm towards the end of a task and the timer goes off, usually I'll just stay in the flow state, I'll bang out that task and then take a slightly longer break. There is no exact prescribed way to do this method. I'd recommend taking it and adapting it to yourself and how your brain works. If you found this video helpful, drop a cheeky like. It only takes a second and really helps the channel grow. Also, you might find this video useful on how I stopped procrastinating. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.